Hello and welcome to Teamplay Tuesday, where we talk about everything Teamplay related on today's daily. Today's daily is daily number 7, I presume. And we're going to talk about team composition, what you need to do to be a proper team player. Now, let's jump into a ranked game. Now, all of things today will be more of a hands-on feel, so because I will attempt to do it while playing. So from the aspect of picking a champion to everything else, everything will be team related, meaning I will try to actually make it work so that there's a sense of team play going on. Now, if there's any questions, join over the On3D chat and you can ask live. I'll answer to the best of my ability. Now, so let's start off with a team composition. No matter what I try here to do, I want to attempt to have as versatile of a champion as possible in the sense of utility and everything else, so that I can help my team no matter what. Now, early on, it doesn't say much because, well, we don't know what the team composition will be yet, so the goal is to go for something really versatile. So we shall see what's available. As we can see, Lee Sin is open. He's really good at that exact role. I just hope he doesn't get picked before I get my hands on him. So I'm going to be a jungler, meaning the person that tries to help the team the most, just show what the overall aspect is of attempting to force team play in a solo queue game. Now, maybe I will not be playing. I will be going top it seems, so well. Fine by me as well, I suppose. Nothing I can do about it. Well, there's a lot we can do about it, but I won't. So, okay, as a top, my roles are team-wise, usually. Farming, not getting killed, and trying to help another lane if I dominate mine. Now, we will do that. From now, I already start planning to play rather offensively so that I have openings to actually go and gank the person mid. In this case it's a Rise. Now let's change some of these. There we go. Everything set. And we know we're beating a Vlad top. Probably not the hardest matchup, I'd say. So, if all goes well, I can actually go and gank mid, for instance, but I have to keep, okay, now we're making cannon. But I'll have to keep constant pressure top so that things don't go out of control in that regard. So my role in this game will be primarily to ward the top half of the map, preferably, and to do well in my lane until we get into the phase of mid-game to late game. One thing you should never forget with the aspect of playing a top player is to try to be there for Dragon when your teams go for it. Like, just try to plan it out from the start so that when Dragon is up, that you can actually go there and help out as much as possible. So I will go with a sustain-based Lee Sin. So main specking W and then going for Q and E last, so that I can have heavy sustain in lane and don't have to run back and forth constantly. As for items, against this type of team, I would say that I will need quite a lot of magic resistance. So I will probably build an Aegis of the Legion. A Hex Drinker, maybe, I don't know, but my goal is still to go for a Frozen Melody and Atlas Impale at some point in the game. Now it all comes down to how well the farm will go and how well I can actually do on my lane itself. So let's jump into the game. Now one thing to note, as a top player, a lot of people don't actually go and scout out the top left corner if there's an invade, so there will be no surprises, because recently, quite often, people don't really invade from the small chokes from the mid lane, but instead go around from the top. But since we're spawning bottom, I can't really cover that, so I will have to cover another exit. But if you spawn at top, you want to go, as a top player, you want to go to your lane and guard the tribush there, to make sure that nobody's invading from there, because it can really catch you off guard if 4 or 5 people appear behind you, and even if they have a stun, the probability of you dying is extremely high. So you want to avoid that happening at any cost. So here we go, starting items and builds into pots.
Waste not a minute. Quiet steps.
Now I know I'm meeting a Shyvana, so basically
Welcome to
there is
Summoner's
not that
Rift.
much I can do about her in that
I
turn.
will atone.
But I can still, with my mobility, I can still guard enough to get away from them if they choose to invade.
Thirty seconds
Find
until
your
minions
center.
spawn.
Yeah, for some reason it seems they decided to invade from the bottom instead of invading from the top. But this type of thing, depending on the champion you're doing this with, there is a lot of variety you can pull off
Extend your
with
senses.
this. I don't understand why they're going in there, but oh well. Because probably Shyvana is going to snipe
Minions have spawned.
We do what we must.
ours, so we can go for theirs instead. So my first time back, I want to purchase a ward and maybe a Doran's or something. That's about it.
Master yourself. Master the enemy. Where am I needed?
Okay, now this is a stupid thing to do, to actually cancel doing something and then destroying farm for your laner, but no, some things just happen, I suppose. Nothing I could do about it this time around. Just have to deal with it the way it comes. Now I'll probably lose farm on lane
Master
heavily.
yourself. Master the
But
enemy.
nothing I can do at this point right now.
We do what we must.
First blood.
Now mid already gave up the first part of the enemy team.
Find your center.
And that was ridiculous, truly. That was really stupid of me, but as I said before, if
Enemy has been slain.
it actually didn't happen that I had to go and pull, I would be level 2 by now, and this would never have happened. So on that regard, it was a huge mistake by Nocturne to actually cancel going red and destroying my lane formers
Quiet
partially.
steps.
But still, I have to still keep going with the plan I have and stick to it. Now I have no clue what the hell this is doing here.
I will atone. Waste not a minute.
Considering that I'm already behind in farm, these moves are really bad. And I have no clue why we're doing them.
An ally has been slain.
It just makes no sense whatsoever.
Waste not a minute.
No matter how you look at it, that made zero sense as to why
Extend your senses.
we did what we did. And that's why I wanted to go blue, because I know this wouldn't have happened if I was playing
Quiet
jungle.
steps.
So no matter how self-conceit that sounds, that's just the way it is. And this game was currently going extremely haywire just because of those few
Where am I needed?
basic mistakes in the beginning of the game.
We do what we must. Master yourself. Master the enemy. Find your
I
center.
think my lane is pretty much ruined. It's gonna be a lot harder to try and make a comeback in this game.
Worry not.
And now we have a griefer as well.
Waste not a minute.
You have been slain.
Yeah, this Lee had to lose one wave because
Enemy
he
double
had
kill.
to pull 4 knock. Ultimately losing the lane.
Extend your senses.
Thanks a lot for not letting me jungle.
I will atone.
Now this game is completely going haywire. There is nothing going on, so let's talk about
We must.
An enemy has been slain.
I'll see this through.
Oh, I'm really behind
Where
all
am I
aspects, but well, maybe it can be salvaged. Who knows? Have to try it. Well, the annoying part is that
Find yourself. Act 3 undoubted. Master yourself. Master the enemy. Quiet steps.
An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
We do what we must.
You have been slain. Enemy killing spree.
And now we have the Dunning-Kruger effect in effect. I made a mistake and the flame has begun. As you can see, this team is falling apart.
Where am I needed? Extend your senses.
I guess I died 3 times. I had a really bad start. In many ways thanks to a couple
Master
of
yourself.
different
Master
aspects.
the enemy.
We still have to try to do the best at it.
Their heartbeats quicken. Quiet steps.
An enemy has been slain.
Find your center. Waste not a minute.
So in some way it seems that we are
Extend
starting
your
to
senses.
stabilize, but at the same time it's going to be really a lot harder for me to make a comeback versus Cannon at this point in time. We still have to try.
Waste not a minute. Quiet steps. Master yourself. Master the enemy.
So as you can see, Cannon is still missing for some unknown to me reason. He should have been back to the lane by now. They've probably taken Dragon.
Where am I needed? We do what we must.
And I'm missing last hits like a boss right now. But well, the longer time I can actually stand here and free farm, the better for me.
Find your center.
As you can see, Cannon is currently missing in action, so this gives us a good chance to make a comeback at some point in this game.
I'll see this through.
But the only thing going for us in a fight versus Rice is the fact that I can shield a lot of his damage if I go shield first. And most of the time,
A summoner has
I
been
actually
connected.
disconnected this. But most of the time, I would not want to take a direct fight with him.
Waste not a minute.
Slain an enemy. An enemy has been slain.
Master yourself.
Now I'm being blamed for something I didn't do again.
Enemy rampage.
I'll see this through. We do what we must. Strike firmly.
Now, I still want to get the Aegis now as fast as possible, because I know that me myself will not be able to do much during the entirety of this game. So Aegis is highly recommended at this point.
Extend your senses.
Now, right now I have an advantage on my lane, so I shouldn't lose it anymore.
Slain.
We do what we must.
An enemy has been slain.
Master yourself. Master the enemy.
So I didn't greet the kill, but that resulted in somehow Leona getting it, but that's kind of the point now. I will not greet kills, I will try to
Where am I needed?
play with team and ward. Most definitely ward. As a top player, you want to ward your side if you have the time or the money. You want to ward the enemy jungle as well.
Waste not a minute.
Because in the earlier phases of the game, it is impossible for the support to actually go and ward for you, ward the enemy jungle.
Quiet.
So it's part of your job description. Now, I didn't take my...
Find your center.
So to go ward right here.
I will atone.
So that now we have complete vision of what's going to gank this from the top side, and that's kind of the point here.
Master yourself. Master the enemy.
Shut down.
Their heartbeats.
An ally has been slain.
Find your center.
An enemy has been slain. Enemy killing spree.
Worry not. Quiet steps. Where am I needed? We do what we must. Waste not a minute.
Now, I have no clue why people are
do
pinging
what we
for
must.
absolutely no reason whatsoever. I am aware of the fact that a rise is nearby.
An enemy has been slain.
I don't understand what's the point of pinging 500,000 times.
Waste not a
Now,
minute.
this is something that usually just happens in solo queue, so you'll have to get used to it. People will ping regardless of...
An enemy has been slain.
Where am I needed?
People just love pinging, I suppose. It's the only explanation I can give.
Shut down.
Did we force another ulti?
I'll see this through.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Find your center.
Now I have enough time to get away from him. And I'm out of there.
Master yourself. Master the enemy. Quiet steps. Free of doubt. Their heartbeats quicken.
Shut down.
I think it's time to start for me to move around a little bit, so I'm gonna force the top tower down, and then I will start rolling as well.
Quiet steps.
So as things are right now, I will not take much damage from cannon in general.
Find your center.
So I can much easily push the tower down.
Right.
Has been destroyed. An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Quicken.
You have slain an enemy.
Where am I needed?
So now the tower is pushed, and now I can start roaming.
Extend your senses.
The tower should be down, probably not yet, but sooner or later it will go down.
Strike.
Ally has been slain. Enemy double kill.
I will atone. We do
No, I
what
was
we
a
must.
little too late to help there anyway, so I'll just back off to my lane, push it back again, and go try to do something better again. No, I haven't been able to ward because I don't really have any swords in my inventory at the moment, but I will... I will do it the second I
Master
get a chance.
yourself. Master the enemy. I'll see this through. Waste not a minute. Their heartbeats quicken.
Has destroyed a turret. An ally has been slain.
Worry not.
Enemy double kill.
And I can just walk away. No problem.
Master yourself. Master the enemy.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Find your center.
So now I have an opportunity to ward again. So I'll get a supply of wards and start warding.
We do what we must. Extend your
As you can
senses.
see, Ken is pushing like crazy, so I have to go and clean that up again.
I will atone.
I'm gonna make a round through the enemy jungle to ward. Now remember, it's always okay to lose farm for a team fight. So no matter what, if you're losing farm and it's a team fight, then it's fine.
Waste not a minute. Where am I needed? Quiet steps.
Killing spree. Enemy double kill. Killing spree. An enemy has been slain.
Find your center. Quiet steps.
So as you can see, the Dunning-Kruger effect has been in effect since the beginning of the game. But because of some luck,
Waste not a
I
minute.
managed to stabilize my lane and I can now start helping the other lanes. Now in this case I went for Shyvana mainly due to the fact that she was a close target and we could easily kill her. But the team decided
Master
to
yourself.
had other
Master
plans
the
and it kind of went haywire a bit. But in general you want to try to take out a target that causes as little damage to you as possible.
Where am I
And by
needed?
damage I mean it doesn't cause any harm to take it out, it just, oh you killed her, fine, that's it.
Extend your senses. Strike firmly.
Well, at present I'm farming whenever I have the chance. It's not something on a priority for me anymore. so I can run around and do other things.
We do what we must.
So now currently my job would usually be to actually go for Kog'Maw and try to kill him, but I have no clue how fed or farmed Kog'Maw is at the moment, so
Rampage.
Master yourself, master the enemy. Where am I needed? Find your center. Extend your senses. Waste not a minute.
I want to go top to regain some health. So now they're going for Baron.
I will atone. Quiet steps.
Shut down. Enemy rampage.
Fizz got caught because we split up from the rest of the team and got instantly killed. So yeah, like sorry, but today's daily seems to be how to not team play. So as you can see, the egotistical mindset that you usually run into in solo queue leads to games where one person is blaming everybody for his mistakes. Now, this is really heavily related with the Dunning-Kruger effect, that is correct. And at the same time, you can't feel anything but sad for the people that think that they are so amazingly good just because they have a little bit higher elo, that
I will
they have to tell everybody what to do. Now, this leads to breakdown in morale, breakdown in leadership, and ultimately to what's happening to us now. We came back, we had the advantage, and now we're losing again.
extend your senses.
Just because people don't want to listen to this in this game, for instance. And also because everybody is in a mode right now where they just want to
We do
flame
what we
and
must.
rage and insult each other.
Waste not a minute.
An enemy has been slain.
Where am I needed? Quiet steps. Find your center.
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Sadly, there's no way that I could help him there.
Extend your senses.
With Leona will probably die now as well.
We do what we must.
An enemy is unstoppable.
Quiet steps. Where am I needed?
So you can see the flame game went on too long now. There's complete breakdown in every aspect of the game. Like, the only way something like this could be salvaged now would be an amazing upset, like a team fight that we win, and then, only then, can we communicate with each other normally again, but before that happens, there will be nothing going on. People will yell at each other and so on and so on. Now, Nock is actually doing more or less fine now. Well, he started doing pretty well lately. He wasn't doing all that well previously, but now he's doing fine.
Find your center.
Enemy double kill.
And now we've gone into the thing I talked about yesterday, the meta thing, where Kofi gets enough damage and enough items to actually just fight out, kill an entire team by himself. So right now everything's looking extremely grim for us and really well for them. So sadly, an upset might be still possible, we shall see, but it's not probable anymore. So at this point, an upset for us would be something like getting 2 or 3 of them off guard into killing, well, I don't know, sniping Kog'Maw really fast and then instantly finishing the game. That would be a really good upset. Now the odds of that happening at this stage are really low.
Strike firmly.
I apologize that today's daily was so bland and bad, mainly due to the fact that it went really bad for me in the beginning of the game, but
I will atone.
well, I'm still trying, I suppose. One of the mentalities you should forget about is to give up. Don't give up instantly. Like, there's always a chance, you just have to wait for it to come.
Master yourself. Master the enemy.
Now, this is something they shouldn't have done. Ugh.
Where? Find your center. Steady your senses.
Now we got 1 for 2 for 1, 1 for 2.
Find your center.
Now they are going to Baron, we have to somehow try to stop it. Don't know if that's even possible, considering they have Pokemon.
Master yourself, master the enemy.
No, it's not possible, considering they have Pokemon. So yeah, like the biggest mistake what happened in the game in general was, like, I did really badly early game, made a lot of mistakes, even gave up a couple of kills. But that was one part of it. The other part was the fact that the blame game began, meaning that people started blaming each other and so on and so on, and that led to people not caring about the game anymore. And it's still going on. That's the annoying part. People are still sitting here blaming each other and so on and so on. Now, there's also something you will face most of the time called I don't know how to call it, but it's pretty much a bad period where you're losing constantly for a set period of time, like a couple of days or so. And the good way is to actually take a break from the game for a day or two, and then come back to it fresh, not thinking about it. So I will probably do that soon, but I will still do the dailies, of course, because we have working in theory coming up. So yeah, it will work out pretty well.
Quiet steps.
Now, one big problem with solo queue in general is the lack of verbal communication with each other. Like, you have to type, which stops you from playing, and that's quite a bad thing in my opinion. Like, if there was any way to communicate in any other way, I would gladly do that. But sadly, that option is not going to be available in solo queue, so you have to make do with what you have at the moment. Because when you're talking to people normally, these types of things usually don't happen. People don't blame everybody for everything. They at least attempt to communicate in some form. So what I'm saying mainly is the fact that the biggest part of team play in general should be communication, no matter what. Like, you want to communicate with your team as much as possible.
Your inhibitor is restarting soon.
And things like that don't really help, and like people are tilted to the point where they don't even care anymore.
Right, firmly.
Now they're extremely overfed at this point. I can't even tank them at all.
Your inhibitor has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed.
Like, this is the biggest problem. Like, the Dunning-Kruger effect is, in effect, even though this is 1900 rating, as you can see, it's still prevalent and at large, and it doesn't change no matter where you are in Elo Health, because you will still get games like this. So yes, this is not a replay, this is actually a live game, so like, we saw how a game can actually change if a team puts its act together, like the enemy team did. And we saw how it can fall apart once one person is enough to constantly flame throughout the entire game. So, let's recap. Depending on your position, you want to ward, call misses, maybe counter jungle even, depending on which character you are. As a jungler, your job is to pretty much jungle, counter jungle, and gank. But one thing that really is the core play for team play is to have communication and never start raging like some people do. Non-stop, pretty much. So, no matter what, try to never rage. even though if you're feeling like doing it, try to explain it in a calm and composed manner, like, why did you do this? No need for caps, no need for anything like that. Just try to be calm and composed. Just ask it as a question. What was the point of this? Never go with things like, why the fuck are you doing this? No, don't do that. Just ask nice and calmly, and people will actually sometimes respond nice and calmly. But yeah, today's daily, I'm actually running somewhat of a loss streak. I have, in general, about 20 losses and 20 no match played this weekend, so I'm currently not in my best shape. We're going to take a break from LoL for the rest of the day or so and come back to it a little bit fresher tomorrow. So, yeah, that's it. Are there any questions? I know there's only 2 people watching, but if there's any questions, I gladly answer them. Go ahead. And you can also criticize the game I played right now. I'm fine with it. I've seen the mistakes I've made. It's sad. Nine times report in general, that's what it means. You want someone to report someone 9 times by 9 other players, so to speak, because you cannot report yourself. The thing with Aegis is that it is in general a really good team item. As we saw, the enemy team was consisted of Shyvana, Ryze, and Kennen. Those 3 heroes do mainly magic damage. Oh, Shyvana does both the part, but Aegis nullifies a little bit of damage. And my job was to become the tank / soaker in general, so I wanted to get me and my team as much mitigation as possible, because I knew Fizz will not go for mitigation, Nocturne needs to get some item ups before he goes for mitigation, Tristana never goes for mitigation, so that was overall the aspect of it. I wanted to get some mitigation for the team, even though it wasn't anything huge, it could still make a difference when push comes to shove. Now, Lee has, the standard build on Lee usually covers with Briggles, Frozen Mallet, Atlas. Those 3 items are standard. The rest you have to go for depending on, adapts to how the enemy team plays. For instance, if they have huge AD, you want to get some more armor and less magic rest. So you have actually 3 slots to work with, or 2 slots to work with for items that are situational for the game itself. Also, in many cases, a support will usually go for the Aegis, but this time around, our support had not exactly the best day, the best lane, or just didn't go all that well, so I doubt she would at any point be able to finish an Aegis. Yes, Leva, what's the other question? In the case of the champion you meet now, for instance, versus Lee Sin and Ryze, the chance of me ever getting into close combat with them is pretty minimal. Also, I don't really need the attack speed given from Wits End all that much as Lee Sin, because I go sustain and I get like 70, 80 HP back from normal auto attack. But if your champion has something to like contend with them, like for instance, Shen's passive works really well with Wits End, Warwick's ulti works really well with Wits End, and Udyr in general has, Udyr's W works really well with Wits End. But it all depends on priorities. For instance, in a game with that much CC, there was almost no way in hell I would be able to just stand there and auto-attack ever, so Wits End was not the best of ideas in that case. So even if I would go Wits End, it would require I would still actually try to go with End if, let's say, they had Maokai jungle or Alistar jungle, because then their pure damage is pretty much AP, and then if you're able to shut down Kog'Maw or any AD they have, you purely fight with like 200, 240 magic rest versus a full AP team. Your chances look a lot better all of a sudden. So on Lee Sin it's a situational item. For instance, in that game, Nocturne could have gotten it because Nocturne is always close and personal because his ulti allows him to get there. But in my case, no, not a good idea. Like the biggest benefit of its End for the character is it heals you better, it resets something, or so on and so on. So like for Shyvana, it resets her Q, and prolongs her W. For Shen, it resets his passive. Udyr, his W heals a lot faster, a lot more, and he does more damage with Q. For Warwick, his W, and he gets attack speed bonus plus his attack speed bonus plus his ulti. So on Lee Sin, it's a little bit too situational and doesn't really give any beefiness, any health in that aspect. So yeah, it's no, not really, maybe, some kind of thing. Anything else? Well, I could consider it, surely. I can do a daily about items, like for instance on a Sunday, because that's what the day is for. So if people want me to do an analysis on items, I can do that, no problem. There is no real trouble with that, so why not? Sure, I could do that. Well then, that wraps up today's daily. Let's see, someone wanted something on Skype. Oh, someone sent me something from Skype. Oh, I see. Well, thanks for watching. This was today's daily Teamplay Tuesday. How to not team play. And I hope I see you guys tomorrow. Thanks a lot for watching. And later.